Welcome to studio vlog number 2. So today I'm going to be talking about pricing your work as an illustrator, and I've split it into 3 sections. I've got my notes here ready to go. So the first one is commissions and client work. The second one will be the importance of pricing your work correctly as an illustrator. And number 3 will be pricing your work if you're going to be selling your illustrations, say in your online shop. So when you are working with a potential client and they send you a brief or an idea of what they would like, you need to ask yourself a few questions and you need to ask them a few questions. It might be an idea to write these questions down now as I'm going to list them, and when you work with a client you could go through that list and tick them off if they have given you the information that you need for you to be able to price and quote properly. So the questions that you can write down are these: what is the deadline? If the client wants a fast turnaround time with good quality, you can charge more for that. How complex is the brief? How long will it take you to do your research, to do the rough drafts, to do the final drafts, to do the final illustration, to prepare the product or the print or the files ready to go? How long is it going to take you to do that? How much time of yours is it going to take? What is your time worth? I personally never base my work on an hourly rate, and that is because you could get yourself into some awkward positions where, say, I'm sorry, I don't know what the minimum wage is at the minute, but say you price your work at £8 an hour. The client, because they don't understand sometimes the complexity of illustration work and the process, they might say, here's another £8 for you to make this huge change, but to them, they might think that it's just a quick change for you because you are, this is your profession, you know what you're doing, it shouldn't take you that long. So just to avoid those kind of situations, I never base my work on an hourly rate. What size is the illustration? Well, what size does the illustration need to be? Spot illustrations will be less than what you would charge for a full page, full double spread, a picture book. There's different ends of the scale with it. Some you will charge more for, and over time, the more your name grows, the better, or the more your reputation is known for being good, delivering high quality work. The more confident you are in your work, the more you can charge. If you're not sure, you can ask the client what is their budget for this project, and they can give you that information. Be direct and polite with them about it. You need to know how you will be sending the files. Now, this might not really impact the cost, but it will if you're printing it yourself. For example, I recently completed a nursery print for someone, and I printed that here myself, so I need to take into account the cost of the printing paper and the ink as well for that, especially if they want more than one copy, so you need to be mindful of those things. Last question to ask yourself in this situation would be, is it an exclusive design for this client only? And if it is, then you can charge more for that, because if you're not able to use this design anywhere else, then you charge more for that. Otherwise, it could have brought you in some more money, so you need to think about those things in that way. The importance of pricing your work correctly as an illustrator is because you don't want to undervalue your skill. You don't want to undermine other illustrators who have been working at it for years. You need to do your research, see what the average costs are. You could message illustrators and ask them, what should I be charging for this kind of project? Have you ever done this before? What would you recommend? So there are resources out there for you to be able to have some help if you're not really sure. You need to make sure that you are putting in that research for quoting. Don't be pricing your work so low that you aren't even making a profit, because it makes it more difficult for others to take illustration as a job and a career seriously. It's not, I don't know how to explain it. You just need to make sure it's almost like respecting each other in the industry, helping each other realise the value that this skill really is and what you can offer. So get a feel for where you're at in your illustration journey and see what you feel, like where you feel comfortable at. Who do I feel like I'm on par with the quality of my work right now, and see how much they're charging for their work in their shops and things like that. Other general questions to ask. This is if you are going to be running an online shop. What do your materials cost you? What does each sheet of paper cost you? Even when you're doing commissions, what does each sheet of paper cost you to do these rough drafts before you've even got to the final thing? Ink, internet, other business costs that you need to, expenses that you need to consider are Photoshop, InDesign. Do you have any of these things? Are you paying for them? Website, shop fees or other things. Shipping costs when you're running a shop. How much does the packaging cost you? The more the more envelopes you buy, the cheaper the unit cost will be. But if you're just starting out, be sensible with that kind of thing. If you're not sure how much it will cost for that stamp to send it in whatever way you're going to, say with Royal Mail, you can weigh the package on your kitchen scales and then go to get a price on the Royal Mail website, and that can give you a feel for what you need to be charging. How much do you want to spend on your packaging? Do you want lots of extras to go in there, or do you want to try and keep it as simple as possible? Because you need to think about the fact that even if you're sending freebies, they're still eating into your business costs, so you need to make sure you're making this money back. Another thing that you need to consider is the fact that you need to make sure you are making a profit, and this is because whether this is your full-time job or something that you do to earn a little bit of extra income, to be able to keep feeding back into the business and continue to work on and develop more products and do more projects, there needs to be that extra money to support that. And you need to recognise that this is your job and your skill, and you should be earning something from that. You should be able to reward yourself as well. Another thing to consider with your pricing is the fact that you're going to need to put a percentage away for taxes, for tax purposes, just in case. So I'd say about 20% for that. Another thing that you need to consider is savings in case you ever get sick, savings in case you want to treat yourself or go away somewhere. You need to save for that. A percentage away for living on, a percentage away for what you're going to feed back into your business, and a percentage for future you with your pension to look after yourself when you're old. So I asked on Instagram if anyone had any questions that they'd like me to answer in this video, and one of them was, what should you charge for personal portraits? Now, I can't really give you like a direct answer for that. With illustration, there is no X amount for this project. It kind of depends on how you feel the quality of your work is, but also where you're at in your illustration career. And to get a feel for it, you can go to see on the websites and shops of other illustrators. So I hope that these questions are somewhat helpful. I'm sorry that I can't give you like X amount for this project to advise the exact figure of what you should be quoting, but illustration doesn't work that way. But you need to do your research. There are plenty of articles, there are other illustrators that you can ask, YouTube videos, there are books that you can read that can help advise you to give you an idea of the average costs of those kind of things that you should be charging. Make sure that you know how much your products are worth before you add any profit. Make sure you think about those percentages of those different categories that you might need to put money away for. Be polite with clients. If you're not sure on what to quote for them, ask them what is their budget for this project. Be polite and ask in that way. Yeah, and when you are pricing your work, don't just think this is my work, I don't care if I don't make a profit or anything like that, because you need to think about how does that reflect on the rest of the illustration industry. So these are all the points that I've had written down. I was working on that yesterday. So I hope that they're helpful, and if you do have any questions then let me know and I will be happy to try and help. But it's just about where you are on your illustration journey right now and what you feel comfortable with, and the further on you go in your career, the more you will be able to charge, because you will have your reputation will grow for being someone who delivers high quality products and someone who delivers their work on time, that doesn't miss a deadline, and someone who does the research and puts the effort in. So it's not just what you show on your portfolio, it's everything that goes behind it as well, to understand the business side of illustration. So yes, thank you for watching, and like I said, if you have any questions then feel free to message me. Thank you for watching and have a good rest of your day.